Okay, howdy folks to another Jump Point magazine issue. This one is issue 0102, first release in January 2013. This one basically features the Bengal class carrier, the work in progress for that. We also have a great interview with Erin Roberts. Ben Lesnick, who is currently in hospital whilst I record this, so get well soon, Ben. He does a galactic guide on the Kellogg system, and there's a great story about David Haddock at the end. As always, folks, I'm going to put the link to this jump point so you can download it and read through it at your own time. These videos are just to record these things for posterity and to allow discussion in the comments should you wish to, and look at how things have developed from the early days to where we are now. Alright, quick shout out to, like it says, work in progress Bengal carried by Ryan Church and Sergio Rosas. Well, Sergio is the owner of a company called CG Bot, where the work for the Bengal carrier was outsourced to. Very respected with loads of years in the industry. But Ryan Church is a well-known concept artist. He has got a CV as long as your legs. He's just give a couple of examples of his work. He's done Attack of the Clones. He's worked on Revenge of the Sith. He's worked on the tripods on War of the Worlds for Steven Spielberg. He worked on the Starship Enterprise for J.J. Abrams' Star Trek films. He worked on Avatar. It goes on and on and on. Transformers. Other games such as Command & Conquer, Dead Space, Lord of the Rings. He's worked on Godzilla, Avengers, Age of Ultron. He just goes on and on and on, this guy. I mean, and you're going to see why Star Citizen, Chris Roberts and the gang chose Ryan Church for the important job of the Bengal carrier. And then towards the end of this video, we're going to see one of the early videos that were ever released for Star Citizen, and it features heavily the work on the Bengal carrier. So as we go through this jump point, it's just going to be a quick flash through, guys. Really, you know, you need to sit down and kind of read these and study the details, but we'll just kind of go through it pretty quick. Right, so of course you always get the sort of the greetings page on these things, and you know that's starting to take some kind of standardization now. But one thing that they've added here is the Bengal class carrier key statistics. Now, of course, these things are going to change. They've probably changed a million times since this was written, but it's a kilometer long. This ship is 1 kilometer long. Can you imagine trying to design this thing? It's a battle group fighter bomber support platform. The idea is that it can carry multiple squadrons of fighter aircraft and bombers inside it. One of the things I love about it is that on the armaments down here, it's got, you know, one bearing turret with 430. I mean, what is this? Ship buster railguns. I mean, fucking hell. This, I mean, it's going to be... You don't want to be going up to this unless you are on first name terms with the captain. I'm telling you now, you ain't going to last long. It's an absolute peach of a vessel. Anyway, onwards we go. Oops, pardon me. Right, so yeah, that's basically, for those who don't know, is what a Bengal class carrier looks like. And let's see how they got to this point. So it starts off with Ryan Church basically sketching a quick design. You know, I say quick, it probably took him a while. But in the first few pages of these, they're really just trying to nail down sort of the big shapes, the basic sort of overall look of the ship rather than the details. You know, entrance, egress, bridge position, engine position, sort of the big panels. You can put the details in later. And as it goes on, Chris is obviously very, very much involved with especially the early design, because, you know, as a concept artist, he's going to need to have that initial direction. It's what I liked about this actually was Chris Roberts really takes a keen interest at this point of where the thrusters are going to be. Those kind of details. And I also love the fact that he pays a lot of compliments as to the overall designs, and especially this area here where there's working mechanisms. You know, he's very interested to see that these actually move and work. But he's also concerned about the player, the gamer. Like, where's he going to go? Is he going to be able to get in here and physically manually shoot these things? So he asked, look, I need a place for the gunner to sit. I need somewhere for the player to jump in. It's not good just watching these things work. We want to be able to control them as well. You gotta love that about CIG. Again, they go on a bit more about the thrusters. He really takes a lot of time over the thrusters and the vectoring and the manoeuvring of them as well. This is an interesting, I'm going to call these slides because it's like a presentation. This is an interesting slide for me because what they've done here, they've just put one of the guns here and they've put a Hornet next to it. Now the Hornet is a big old ship. It's a fighter. You know, it's one of the smallest ships in the game, don't get me wrong. But it's a big old ship. I mean, when you think that's kind of where the pilot would go, look at the size of this thing. I mean, it's huge. That is gonna, I mean, ship busters, yeah. I don't even think that's the big ship buster either. Oh, hang on, what was that there? Yeah, so they're talking about here, just reminded myself there, yeah, of positions of them, you know, so on the scramble deck and the main flight deck. So maybe you would want to lower that floor a little, give slightly less headroom to the main. I mean, the details that they go into. I mean, people ask me all the time is, what's taking so long with Star Citizen? Well, just this one ship alone is 1 kilometre long. It's 130,000 tons of spacecraft. That kind of stuff isn't getting built in a day. They put some little people here as scale, so you can see the scale of these things. So again, they just, I mean, they're great pictures, these, because they put people in as, so that you get the sense of scale as to what they're building. I mean, look at the size of this thing. And they're talking about the cosmetic value to make everything look like it belongs. So a theme of a ship carries it all the way through, which I think is very important. One of the things I love about the Bengal carrier as well, because it kind of reminds me of Battlestar Galactica in the fact that you can land in and then, you know, I mean, you can fly all the way through it if you wanted to. You know, come in, get repairs, change crews, and off you go again. But absolutely epic gameplay potentials. This is where it starts to come a little bit more now. Models, so is, you know, Ryan Church and CG bot with Sergio have started to put the details in now, and some of the cosmetics, just to give you a good sense of how it's working. That's one with the engines putting it for instance. I mean, look at the size of that gun underneath. Holy moly. There's the bridge. Fair few decks there as well. Beautiful. This is one of the concept designs of how the hangar deck will look, or the scramble deck if you like. Some Hornets in the background. Bridge details. I mean, one of the questions that it brings to my mind, for, you know, as a topic of discussion is, who the hell is going to crew this? You know, you could imagine, I could imagine 6,000 people working on this, without a doubt. You know, it's the size of an airbase. And an airbase like RAF Bryce Norton's got 7,500 personnel on it. You know, so this is a 1 kilometre long. All right, maybe a couple of thousand at least. Maybe I over exaggerated initially. See, these are the other concept designs, but you're going to get to see it in a bit, fully rendered. And honestly, your mind's going to be blown if you haven't already seen it. These also, guys, are just a snapshot of all the work that went into it. I mean, this would have been, you know, thousands of pages long. They just picked out some of the major sort of milestones as it went through to show us, because you don't need to see every single thing. So this is interesting because they're asking now is, you know, concept artists need to know some details of what the vision for the ship's going to be. So it says there, Chris did come to me first thing with the crew complement, numbers and types of fighters and defensive armour. These stayed through the most part, but the exact number was determined when placing missiles and guns on the exterior and looking for the best combination of field of fire issues, visibility and access. So it's very important when you place the bridge that it serves as a bridge. You can't just go, oh, well, it looks nice there. For the player, they need to be able to use this and be able to take that kind of environmental awareness and make decisions from it for the bridge crew. It's all about this. It's all about that display. Is that the biggest artificial horizon you've ever seen? The size of it. No, it's starting to just put some of the textures on there. The more stiff. It's great to see how it all gets put together. You know, from a bit of a nerdy person who follows the gaming industry a little bit, you know, as a hobby. It's great to see how the inner workings of how all these things are made. I mean, yeah, a ship buster. I mean, that's a planet buster, let alone a ship buster. Yeah, absolutely mega. Guys, I mean, I really recommend you just to download, see the link below, and check this out. You know, put over a little bit. This is what I love now, because CG Bot have got involved now again. They've took the designs, so those are the first concept sort of renders, if you like. And they're doing some local in-game sort of lighting passes. I mean, already, if you just look at the details of some of these screenshots, I mean, just the stairs, you know, they don't do things by halves. Especially these lighting reflections. Absolutely stunning what CryEngine can do. And this, you know, believe it or not, guys, was quite an early version of the game engine, you know, when it was starting out. This is something for you to bear in mind. This, I don't know what you'd call it. Maybe some kind of, well, navigational aid. Just wait, you'll see that again later. And you'll start to appreciate the fidelity of the work, I think, a little bit more. And in fact, here it is, and they actually mention it here as well, that this render here, made from, you know, in-game screen captures, you can see through the bridge windows the navigational, let's call it the nav computer. What do they call it? Even the hologram in the bridge's main room. Okay, they just call it a hologram, but I mean, you can see it through the windows from here. I mean, that is a real awesome attention to detail, and you know, bravo to CryEngine 3 for managing to pull that off. Now, this is what I was going to mention before, is so you got Ryan Church's initial drawings, if you like, there of concept art, and look how closely CG bot, and they've not decided to change much at all. I mean, it's all there. I mean, it's like spotting a difference. Fantastic stuff. Again, they've chosen a slightly different artificial horizon, but the computers are all there. They've added a few more. Ryan Churches was a bit barren. Once when you first see that, you think, yeah, done. Yeah, happy with that. Crack on. CG bot get all of it, and this is where again, another 19 years of experience comes into play on top. And all of a sudden they're putting like nice little trims around stuff like that, really make it look like it's all part and part of the fixtures. In fact, it makes it look like that is part of what's generating that, Right then, so without further ado, let's go and check out a video with the Bengal carrier class featured heavily within it. That's the Bengal carrier, guys. I hope you like the video. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Bear in mind that was 3 years ago. It goes on now with an interview with Aaron Roberts, who looks, God, he looks a lot younger there. Has to be said, and a bit slimmer. But great interview there. Two brothers there. I mean, you gotta love that, haven't you? But they also talk about how he got into the game. Now he got part of, you know, CIG as well, and all the work that he's done in his career as well. It's a good read. That I reread that just recently again. This is Ben's contribution to this episode, where he goes into some of the planet star systems and where we can be going in the final game. It's what I found a little bit interesting about this is that they're kind of playing around with some of the data, the metadata, if you like, for the game. Some of the sort of stats that they probably predicted that we would use to make our decisions of where we would go to trade. I think they actually talk about this place being quite a dodgy area as well, not one for the noobs. Yeah, I think it says Kellogg is assisted with immense opportunity for profit, but it's one that inexperienced merchants, read noob, should avoid at all costs. Hundreds of interested newbies. I like the way you spell it too. The traditional way. Have noted the profit margins and after burned straight to the system only to find themselves the target of UAE forces guarding quarterdeck. Or a tasty dinner for Zijan sea crab. Fucking hell. Don't make their mistakes. Good tips. And then it finally goes into a part one of a lore story, if you like. A short story, Last Night of the Seraphim. Check that out. These are always well written and good reads. Goes on for quite a bit this one as well, and that's part one. Guys, that's it for issue 102 from January 2013's Jump Point. Check out the link below to the OneDrive where you can download the PDF and have a look at it yourself. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to keep on doing these. I'm just going to record them. If you like them, please subscribe for more. I do all kinds of content. Always leave a comment. And, like if you want to like as well. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.